Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gary with Another Fan TV, man. Back at you with a video. Like the content of this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Like the content of this channel, go ahead and subscribe, man. Look, all right. So we're gonna talk about two things really. One is gonna be Marcus Williams, and I think that this injury is kind of a blessing in disguise for him. And two, we'll talk really quickly about the guy that the Ravens signed to the practice squad, which is kind of an indication that Marcus is probably out for a little bit. All right. So Ravens signed Andrew Adams. 30 years old, 5'11", 205 pounds, safety, obviously, from UConn, undrafted in 2016. He's been on a host of teams, mostly kind of practice squad. He's been on the Giants, Bucks, Lions. He's been on the Buccaneers 3 times, Steelers, Titans, and now he's on the Ravens. Okay, so, he's played quite a bit as well. I mean, he has over 200 tackles. He won the Super Bowl. He has 8 interceptions in his career. 26 pass deflections, so he's played, you know what I mean? So he's a guy that has some experience, and we'll see how much if he's even called into the action for the Ravens at all. But obviously this is kind of just a safety measure because, Marcus Williams might be out for a little bit, all right? So, all right, now about Marcus Williams. I think he is dealing with a hamstring right now. I think in the Titans game, he definitely pulled up. I believe it was on the Geno Stone interception return. He kind of pulled up, favoring his hamstring, and he might be out for a while dealing with that. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because I feel like it's a blessing in disguise for him, okay? He's a warrior. He wants to play. Last year, he had the wrist injury. He had to miss significant time with that. This year, again, he gets another arm kind of injury right now. Is his pec. He doesn't want to miss time again. So what does he do? He rehabs quickly. He comes back, big brace on his left arm, and tries to tough it out there, right? And I have ultimate respect for Marcus Williams for even trying to play when he's clearly not right. But at the end of the day, he was only about 60% of the player that he could be, right? The Titans game, I think about, the Derrick Henry long run, right? He gives great effort to run Derrick Henry down, but he simply can't put arms on with Derrick Henry stiff arms, right? Now, he probably ends up saving a touchdown because he kind of forces Henry to the sideline, but plays like that. Same game. The pass interference call, which was a terrible call on him, by the way, he has the right to attack the football like anybody else, okay? But he goes up with his right hand only, right? Marcus Williams, 100% Marcus Williams, ball hawk, is picking that pass off, no questions asked. But he has to go up and turn his body because he can't lift that left arm. So he was kind of playing, half of a safety out there, right? The Steelers game, we saw it all 4 quarters, excuse me. His arm is just hanging down by his side. He can't wrap up. He's just forcing the guy out of bounds. All right. So for Marcus Williams, the best thing he can do right now is get healthy, right? This hamstring injury is going to sit him down for probably a couple of weeks. Hamstrings, you never know how long they can, those muscle injuries are tricky, right? You never know how long somebody's going to be out with that. Now, he hasn't been officially ruled out. I'm just kind of assuming just because the Ravens signed their safety to the practice squad. I think they're anticipating him being out. But anyway, hamstrings are kind of tricky things to get healed from. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a month. You never know. It could be longer. So that time, while the hamstring is healing, hopefully his arm is doing the same as well. Just because he's a really, really talented player. And when he was putting himself out there, he wasn't able to play to his best of his abilities. Okay. Also, I kind of want to say that I'm disappointed in the Ravens training staff as well. Like, these guys, these football players, really athletes in general, 9 times out of 10, if they can play through it, they're going to try to do it. But you're a medical professional, right? You're supposed to be the person in their ear and say, hey, look, man, you're not ready to go. You're not right. This brace is on you, but you can't play football with one arm. It's impossible. I'm sorry, you cannot play football with one arm. Somebody needs to be in his ear and telling him that, right? Then even, higher ups like coaches and stuff like that, all right? You see Geno Stone playing really, really well. Now, Marcus Williams is a starting safety in the league. You paid him a lot of money, so of course you want him out there. But Geno Stone is having the best season of his career. He's tied for the NFL lead in interceptions with 3 right now. All right. So what I'm saying is there was no reason to rush back Marcus Williams when you got Geno Stone playing out of his mind right now. All right. So Marcus Williams, quick return to play, I feel is kind of, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's a little bit of an organizational failure, right? The player is going to want to play. All right. I don't blame him for doing that. There's a lot of guys like, look, think about how people looked at Deshaun Watson when, before it was saying that he was medically cleared to play, especially versus the Ravens, and just chose not to. Everybody looked at him sideways, right? So Marcus Williams, I kind of feel him like, all right, look, I can play well enough. Let me get in there. But if he was going to be like this, can't raise his arm, can't lift the arm above his head, can't make a play on the football, can't tackle, somebody should have said, hey, Marcus, you're not right, man. You got to sit down, right? As much as that's going to hurt him and he wants to be out there, somebody has to be looking out for the player. That's the whole job of the training staff. That's part of the job of the coaching staff. Look out for the player because the player's going to want to play. So like I said, not to be dramatic, especially with the Ravens are coming off of, the Steve Saunders era where players have said that, this guy ruined my career because of the training programs and, rushing me back, making me do things that before I was ready to do them. You know what I'm saying? So I get flashbacks of that when I see Marcus Williams out there playing with one arm. So the Ravens need to really sit back and think about what they're doing organizationally when it comes to the training staff, all right? Because Marcus Williams should not have been allowed to play. It's simple as that. Like I said, he's a warrior guy. All those terms you want to throw out there, I commend him for the effort of trying to get out there and be there for his guys. He shouldn't have been out there in the first place, all right? They should have put Marcus Williams on IR when they had the chance and let him heal naturally. Because I can guarantee that being out there playing football games, getting knocked around in that arm is not helping the healing process at all. It's probably slowing it down. All right. So the Ravens could put him on IR and possibly save this whole couple of weeks of headache of him not playing. When I first did the injury report and I heard, Marcus Williams coming back already, I was excited about it. You know what I mean? But I didn't know the severity of how he was going to look out there. So the Ravens did. They saw him practice. They see him around the building. So Marcus Williams, to me, this injury is a blessing in disguise for him. The hamstring injury, that is, because that's going to make him sit down. He get the hamstring right, get your arm right. Then maybe we see you later on in the season at closer to 100% because he probably won't be 100%. He probably won't have to get surgery, I would have to assume. But so he won't be 100% until next year. But maybe we can see him in some capacity close to 100%, maybe 80%, 85%. But right now, seeing that 50% or less version of Marcus Williams was kind of disheartening to see out there for a player that is so good, right? I mean, remember his first season last year. I mean, what he caught 3 interceptions like the first 2-3 weeks of the season. We want to see that guy again, right? We don't want to see the hobbled version who can't lift his arm above his head. So the Ravens coaching staff, look out for your players, man. If Ravens training staff as well, look out for the guys that you're training. You're supposed to be taking care of these guys. Look out for them. No matter how much they want to force themselves on the field, if they're not ready to go and you can physically see that, because I can physically see it, other Ravens fans can physically see it, he shouldn't be out there playing football. It just shouldn't happen. So that's my thoughts on it, man. Ravens signed Andrew Adams. To the practice squad. We got Geno Stone, we got Kyle Hamilton, who is not expected to be suspended, so he'll be out there for this game versus the Lions as well. So the Ravens are looking good at safety still. Wish Marcus Williams is out there healthy, but until then, he doesn't need to be playing. So, but that's my thoughts on it, man. Give me your guys' thoughts on it in the comments. But I'm gonna get out of here as Gabriel, just on Fan TV. I'm out.